Welcome back to New York Viewpoint. I'm Ken Rosato. Rational Animal is a nonprofit dedicated to using media and special events for the purpose of helping animals that might be at risk. Please join me in welcoming Susan Brandt, the founder and executive director, who has with her rescue dog ambassador Sadie Blackstar. Love the name. Welcome. Now, we have a beautiful portrait of Sadie. Let's show the dog.
Oh.
How old was Sadie there?
That was soon after I got her out of the Brooklyn AC&C shelter.
So you got her. She's a shelter dog.
She is. She's. I found her while we were putting beds into cages.
No kidding.
And I thought I have to take her.
These are beds that you folks make, and you donate to shelters.
These are just a few like the little cat beds. We make big ones too, but
no kidding.
It's a Mother's Comfort Project. This is we've sewn 3,000 beds and delivered them to the shelter so far.
Tell me about that. Tell us all about that. How that got started.
Well, Rational Animal is the organization I started about 9 years ago. And the goal is to create media to improve at-risk animals' lives. And so we've done that in a variety of levels, all the way from community programs like humane education with the Girl Scouts to sewing events like the Mother's Comfort Project, creating TV spots actually to promote adoption and spay and neuter.
These doggies ever work with seniors or homebound or hospital patients?
Yeah, there's some of those in our for instance on our board we have a woman who has a dog that is a therapy dog, which I think Sadie could be a therapy dog.
Yeah, Sadie's about as chill and calm as any dog. I have 2 Pomeranians at home, and Sadie could teach them a lesson. I tell you, she is a sweetheart.
She's a good ambassador for the pit bull, which has a bad reputation, as you know, but she is the sweetest.
It's all about the way you train the dog.
That's exactly it.
You could have pit bulls and Rottweilers. My partner Lori Stokes in the morning has a Rottweiler, and it's about as sweet as Sadie.
Yeah,
she'll lick the skin off your face, trying to give you kisses. That's about as violent as she gets.
Exactly.
Although you wouldn't know it by the bark.
Right.
Now, tell me about the core with working with professionals and things like that. Talk about that.
Well, it's amazing. We have, being in New York City based, we have at our access all these amazing talented people. So we use the photographers, the writers, filmmakers to produce these spots and produce some of the materials that we print and hand out for people. So yeah, we get together in production teams and make these things happen. We get grants and been doing this for several series now.
And what about the note cards? What's that about?
The note cards is a new product that we are bringing out for the holidays. It is a amazing collaboration with the Morrison Hotel Gallery, which represents music photography. And so on each note card, we have Bob Dylan, we have Neil Young, they're all with animals. And the money that we raise the money for Rational Animal with the sale of these cards. Now,
is it difficult to promote Rational Animal, or do you find a very welcoming, open door situation when you approach media with your situation with your program?
Well, I think it varies. With dogs and cats, it's a little easier to get information on television programs. But when it gets to like circus animals or you get into carriage horses, more political issues, those are harder things to get broadcast.
And what about your advocacy orange ribbon?
The orange ribbon we register with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, so it's officially for at-risk animals, and we use it to raise money, to raise awareness. We've handed it out in little matchbooks. In fact, I brought one here for you.
Thank you. And of course, I happen to be wearing orange today. That works out.
We put it in a little box, and we give it to people who care about animals.
I care about animals.
I know you do.
Put this on.
So yeah, it's a way to reward people who do good deeds for animals.
And you have shelter maps that you've created, so that people know where to find shelters and find these animals all over New York City.
Yes, we've done 5 editions now, and this 5th edition was done by Charles Fazzino, who's a very talented illustrator who's done a lot of cityscapes. So he lent his services to making this beautiful shelter map that is, you can see where all the shelters are, which are sometimes hidden.
Right.
It's good to get people there rather than going to the puppy mill stores. So we try to get people to go to the right place so that they're helping animals and helping the overpopulation situation here in the city.
We had this conversation. I have 2 pure breed Pomeranians that I got through rescues.
Yes.
People think that, first of all, they have the misconception that a quote-unquote mutt, it can't be as lovable and wonderful as a purebred. In fact, in many cases, they have fewer health problems.
Right.
And then the other issue, too, is if you do have your heart set on a purebred, no matter how exotic the breed, you'll find a rescue shelter.
That's right.
And they're out there. They're all over the country.
Yes.
So you can find them, adopt them.
Yes, and exactly. So at least you're helping animals rather than putting money into an industry that is producing animals at very low cost and selling them high. So it's always important to do the research. You know where those puppies have come from.
What are some of your biggest frustrations?
I think that it is people who maybe don't do the research and don't even know they're contributing to a problem. So what we try to do is create that awareness.
I want to get a puppy for my kid. I don't care.
Right,
and
right.
they're not realizing that
there's a whole larger issue, and that there's a lot of animals that need homes. And if you buy from a puppy mill store, you're taking away that opportunity for a shelter animal to get a home.
You just have about 20 seconds
Okay.
left. What gives you hope?
Volunteers. The people who work with us are amazing. The volunteers have been working with us for years. They contribute their skills. They don't ask for a lot in return. They just like to see the animals improve, their situations improved, and so that gives me a lot of hope.
Well, it is good to have you here. Your rescue dog ambassador, Sadie Blackstar, was perfect as always. Sadie, you want to come and give me a kiss before the end of the show? Of course, now we disturbed her sleep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sadie.
Anyway,
thank you so much for being with us today. I'll just keep
Ken.
scratching Sadie. I'm Ken Rosado. We thank you again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Sadie needs a kiss. Bye-bye.